What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel. Recording this during the halftime of the Germany-England game. Go Germany! Today on the Madden channel, they have dropped a trailer titled Dynamic Gameplay, aka everything you're not getting on PC. This is essentially everything that's going to be exclusive to next gen. So if you're on PS4, the old Xbox, or on PC for some inexplicable reason, I don't know why PC is getting grouped in with that, you will not be getting these features. So I'm going to just preface before we go into this video, because I will be getting hyped, because I do think there's a lot of good within this video. And I saw this trailer, I saw a little bit of a Q&A about 2 weeks ago, so I knew this was coming, I knew I wanted to talk about it, but I gotta preface the hype and the happiness by saying, as someone that has invested a lot into the PC, has been playing Madden exclusively on the PC for the last 2 years, PC got absolutely robbed. There's a lot of people that are upset still with Madden. There's the people that like either A, make money off Madden being bad, or they're just absolute morons that are like, well, I'm not going to like this game because these features, even though they're what we want, we've been asking for, they were in Madden 04, so I'm not going to be happy. Those people, just let them live in their misery. Then you have like the kind of people that are like kind of like that, but they're like more open-minded, but they're just not willing to give Madden the round of applause because that trust has been lost over the last couple of years, and they want to see the execution of these features before they get excited. Completely valid. I'm a little bit in that segment as well. But the number one group of people that should be upset about Madden 22 right now is the PC fan base. It's a niche fan base. Wasn't ever, robust. I know, perfect example. I'd make my Madden draft classes on Xbox. They'd get over 100,000 downloads. I'd make my Madden draft classes on PC. 10,000? Like, it almost literally feels like 10% of the Madden fan base is playing on PC. That's small. That's a niche subculture. But the fact that you have Madden on PC, and shouldn't it just be about porting? Like, I've talked to people, the devs themselves, at a dinner, and they're like, yeah, we just kind of port the console version over to PC. It wasn't a great port. Can't you just click, clickety, click, click, click on some keyboard and put the next gen version on PC? Most PCs are like equal to, if not better, than what the next gen consoles are. I'm with you. I will preface this entire video by saying, if you are a PC Madden player and you're upset, I'm right with you. That being said, let's get into the trailer. And Barry Slade looking good, number 2. New animations.
What's up, everyone? Clint Oldenburg here, gameplay producer of Madden NFL 22. Today I'm thrilled to bring you some details on Madden 22's all-new Dynamic Gameday feature and the 3 components that combine to create it. You'll also learn about core gameplay improvements.
You already know there's going to be about some dudes that make 45 videos about the animations in this trailer.
Including player movement, catching, blocking, and tackling. Let's get into it. Dynamic Gameday is a next-gen feature that delivers on the raw energy and emotion of NFL game days through 3 core components: Gameday Atmosphere, Gameday Momentum, and next-gen stats star-driven AI. Dynamic Game.
I will say, when they introduced next-gen stats to Madden 21 next-gen, I thought it was like a marketing ploy. I thought it was just something to kind of pair with, Amazon, like all this stuff, because, you watch an NFL broadcast, they're like, well, look at our new next-gen stats. And I figured, like, it was just a marketing stance, but as we go through it, I think it could be a positive feature for the Madden franchise.
Gameday deepens the gameplay experience through new levels of strategy, unique storytelling, and immersive stadium atmospheres. It also makes every snap and every game feel like a new challenge and impacts gameplay across every mode.
I mean,
let's dive.
That's what we need. I think above all franchise features, what Clint just said, above all franchise features, the number one thing that has been an issue with Madden, in my opinion, has been the fact that when you play against the CPU, user versus CPU, more often than not, 9 times out of 10, the CPU feels exactly the same from any given team across the league. And if you have all these features, if you literally got someone's dream wish list for franchise features, but at its core, the Madden CPU going a bit, user versus CPU experience wasn't good, does it really matter if you're still going to get bored playing the game because every team plays and feels the exact same? So getting this right, and this has been something they've talked about before. Previous Madden saying we're trying to get the AI right. They haven't got it right yet. So the proof is going to be in the pudding for everything that they're talking about in this video. Because if they can't get that right, if this is another false promise, it's not good. I'll say the beta feels pretty good though.
Dive into the details, starting with Gameday Atmosphere. Gameday Atmosphere enhances every game of Madden 22 by bringing to life the unique characteristics and personality of each NFL stadium, as well as the real-world emotion, intensity, and fun of game day.
A lot of window dressing, and I have been on a little thing where we got a Q&A. So you cannot create super fans; they're just generated.
Some examples of how atmosphere can impact gameplay include crowd noise making it tougher for the quarterback to hear a call, or make
Was that roasting Jalen Hurts a little bit? Was that roasting Jalen Hurts a little bit? Fucking Cowboys rating guy roasting Jalen Hurts somehow.
A call or make an audible at the line, or a receiver to miss a hot route just like they might in real life. This all ties into the next component of Dynamic Game Day, an all-new game mechanic called Gameday Momentum. Gameday Momentum allows you to feel the highs and lows of the momentum swings of every game with the performance-based momentum meter and its in-game perks known as M factors.
So what I know is, obviously you probably should know this by now, every stadium is going to have their own specific M factors, which is cool, but there are people, I've liked the X factors. I think while there's certain X factors that are super overpowered, like let's get rid of that scrambling quarterback ability, that is so annoying, and like stuff like Enforcer. I think the only issue I have right now with the M factors, with the stadium factors, is that you can't turn them off. Someone asked during a Q&A session, will these be toggleable? And in one side, it kind of is counterintuitive because like they clearly put emphasis on this feature, and why would they just put all this emphasis if a lot of their fan base just got to turn it off? So I kind of understand maybe why they haven't given you the option, but anytime there's something under the hood like this that kind of drastically influences your experience playing the game, there's going to be people that don't like it. And there's going to be people that are like, man, I would love Madden if I could just turn off the M factors. And the fact that you cannot toggle these on or off, hopefully they all feel good. Hopefully they're all not overpowered and they're all properly adjusted.
As momentum is gained and lost, M factors will affect teams in unexpected ways. Some M factor impacts include leaving a kicker in the ice state, receiver icons going missing,
okay,
or making a hot route become more difficult to perform.
I feel like that's kind of been in the game, but yeah.
We're also introducing home field advantage in Madden 22. Every NFL stadium in the game features a unique M factor that, when triggered, can unlock a special boost created for each NFL team's environment.
So that again, I feel like if they just gave us the option to toggle that on or off, this would be a huge feature, because the people that like it, this is awesome. This is going to make every game that you play, especially on the road, that much more difficult to win, which it is, right? That sense of home and away difficulty that is very prevalent in real football has not been there in Madden. So the fact that it's going to be an added challenge to try to win on the road, this feature kind of is their solution to having that aspect in franchise mode. But again, I do feel like probably should give the option just to turn it off if people that don't like it.
The home team will always have one extra M factor in the momentum meter, simulating the difficulty of winning on the road in the NFL. These unique M factors will be the first to unlock when a momentum shift happens. Here are some examples of the effects of home field advantage in different stadiums.
So you get the scrambled play art like an NCAA 14 when you play in Seattle, okay? Hard to kick a field goal in Chicago. Again, like that's good. That's pretty good. In Denver, it's harder.
Now, onto the third component of Dynamic Game Day,
like
next-gen stats star-driven AI. Over the last 2 years, more than 8...
I'm just going to say, before he goes into this, if this is right, and this works as intended, and this gets fine-tuned, because this whole next-gen stats is supposed to kind of go in line with real football. If teams change their scheme up, they will change their scheme up in Madden as real football, like as they go, shoulder to shoulder throughout the year. They get this right, this could be the biggest win of Madden 22.
80% of games have been played against the CPU.
Did you hear that? I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about my experience with off the camera with Madden, but we will just say that people have always been asking, what does the data show for the modes that are being played? In particular, it kind of more so came in line with what does the data show for people that are actually playing Face of the Franchise in relation to just base franchise mode. And the fact that Clint just said 80% of the games in Madden 21 were played user versus CPU. That is the data that I believe, combined with the hashtag Fix Madden Franchise movement, that has given us the focus, the importance on CPU versus AI, user versus CPU, has given us the importance on franchise mode, because the data, I don't know if it's because of COVID and everyone's inside and all that stuff, but the data has showed that this is where they need to spend their time. Above and beyond the fact that franchise in particular and user versus AI has been neglected for a very long time, we finally, at least, and they've publicly announced, the data backs up the direction that they need to go with franchise, right? And it only makes more sense knowing that 2K's come with an arcade game and all this different stuff. Madden is going to have to hone in on their craft and be known and respected for their franchise mode and their gameplay against the CPU.
By leveraging the NFL's next-gen stats, we've upgraded AI player behaviors and team tendencies so that single-player games will feel just as deep and meaningful as playing against other humans. For individual AI players, next-gen stats are now used to drive player tendencies like these.
So, if you play on all Madden, you know that these are all big wins because it almost felt like there's no way to tune your sliders to make the QB make a good decision. And that's, proof's in the pudding with this one, though. They gotta get that one right, too, because it just felt like being all-pro, all-Madden, it's either the QB's terrible or the QB just goes 19-21 with checkdowns to the running backs and tight ends. I actually want them to be good, play like real life.
For Team AI, each team will have its own personality, play calling style, and team tendencies, all driven by next-gen stats. For example, defenses like the Steelers who like to blitz will challenge your pocket presence on offense. Playing against a run-heavy team like the Ravens will be a completely different experience than playing the pass-heavy Bills. In Play Now and Franchise, these tendencies will evolve all season long as team stats change, either in the real world or within your franchise sim, so that each game will feel as fresh as each week in the NFL season. Next up,
again, we're in closing. We've been promised that before. Let's see the execution. Because if you execute that correctly, I think that's the biggest win of Madden 22 so far.
core gameplay improvements. We've gone even deeper with next-gen player movement this year, making players even more authentic and explosive in their movements and interactions. And
I will say, someone that's from this beta, that's really my first true experience playing next-gen Madden. The whole they play slower is true. Got to get used to it. But I feel like it's probably better than everyone being super fast and stuff, unrealistically fast.
Added more nuance, context, and intelligence. In addition to more route running and player speed data, you'll also see the following. And that's not all. Expect more control when it comes to catching, like independent player battles for balls in the air, improved sideline catch flip detection, and more control and responsiveness in turning up the field after a catch. Tackling
seems like they're trying to combat, the animations that so many people rightfully hate in Madden.
Improvements include big, bruising ball carriers will be more likely to fall forward in tackles, whereas smaller, more agile ball carriers will not be picking up those extra yards. And we improved blocking too. Passing pockets will form deeper and faster around the quarterback. And expect run blocking momentum enhancements like more animation variety, while opening up dynamic running lanes, ensuring momentum is properly reflected on both sides of the ball. Thanks for spending your time with us to learn more about Dynamic Gameday and Madden NFL 22. Stay tuned to EA Sports Madden NFL 22 channels for more information on the game ahead of the worldwide launch on August.
Again, I think, first, again, going back to the opener, I feel for the PC players. There's no reason that all of this shouldn't be coming to PC. And there is a silver lining. The silver lining is, it sounds like if Madden 22 is last gen on PC, it's probably going to be modded sooner than later. Versus if we got the new next gen on PC, it'd be like they'd have to restart everything from scratch to try to mod that new game. But everything in this, if it's on point, if it's fine-tuned, and if they truly achieve what his exact words there, every game in your franchise feels like a unique experience, especially with the home field advantages and the star-driven AI. If they get that right, that is going to be an exceptional building block for the future of Madden. That is going to be essentially what we're seeing right here, if it works, is the core of Madden gameplay. It's brand new. They're reshaping it. It has been not good. It's been underachieving. It's been failing. It's been missing the mark for the last couple of years. But if they finally get this right, where every team feels unique and it's good, it's enjoyable, this is going to be that building block for here on out for Madden going forward. So I appreciate the leap that they took. I appreciate the importance and emphasis after seeing that 80% of games in Madden 21 were played from human against computer, that they are finally taking the right steps. I haven't heard a boo about Superstar KO. I haven't heard a boo about Madden Ultimate Team. Thank God, because those are things that don't need fixing. Those are things that absolutely should not be high on the priority list. If you play those modes, fine. You've had from like Madden 14 to Madden 19. You guys were like, that was your time. That was your time to peak. Okay? Now we're going back like C4 in high school. We're going to be peaking in high school for the next couple years, the next 3 years. Or if you're in America, the next 4 years. It's going to be the peak season for user versus AI and franchise mode. So, proof is in the pudding. Execution is everything. But I think if they get this right, this is going to be huge for Madden going forward. So let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. That'll do it from here today, guys. Tomorrow we will be dropping a Detroit Lions franchise mode, getting back into things there. So thank you for watching. Subscribe if it's your first time stopping by. Would love to hit 150,000 subs before Madden 22 drops. And I'll see you guys back here on the next one. Thanks for watching, and peace out.